Hey guys, it's Eric Carver from Nerdy Geek Talks. First of all, your nerdy geeky needs here with the first ever episode of NGT Interviews. This is a show where I will be interviewing several people prominent within the fandom and within our Nerdy Geek Talk crew, so you can get to know them better. So our first one is indeed someone within the Nerdy Geek Talk crew, and that would be Soundjack, aka Michael Blaine. How are you?
I am doing well.
That's
How
good.
are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Uh,
That's good. That's good.
so the way I have this set up is
hmm
that I actually have multiple sets of questions. I have six sets of two types of questions. The first type is just normal questions that I would ask you that you give me, actual answer,
Yeah.
like regular standard answers, yes, where you actually explain. And then there's rapid fire questions where you need to answer instantly. You don't get to think about it. So I'm going to
Okay.
ask three at a time. Like I do three regular, three rapid fire, three regular, three rapid fire, and that'll happen, six times that I do one set of each.
Okay.
So,
Well, I have a question for you. What's
oh
that in
no.
your
Wait, what?
What's that in your hand? You had something in your hand you were waving around.
This
Okay.
Black
Yeah.
Series Grand Admiral Thrawn, one of the best Black Series figures ever made.
Okay.
Uh,
I was like, wait, is that a bot? Is that Professor Wellred?
this should be a very big bot. Although I suppose
It's
he
on the
was mostly
corner.
in my hand, so you couldn't see most of him. So,
Yeah, I just saw the
also,
colors.
if you're
Yeah.
curious about when we recorded this, Transformers Siege Leader Class Cybertron Optimus Galaxy Convoy, right? Yeah, it
Yes.
was revealed today. It was
Our
today, right? Or
worlds
was it
are
last
in
night?
danger.
It was today, right? I know it like
Yes.
because I saw the news whenever I woke up, so I was like, did it happen last night before?
Considering the responses I saw on Twitter, it seemed to have been very early in the morning.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but still today. So,
So, like, for Zeus, it might have been yesterday,
oh
but
yeah, that
like
is true because he's that
for
fancy
most of the world, it
California.
was today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's awesome. But anyways, let's get on to the good stuff. So, my first question is, what is your name?
Uh, wow. How mysterious of a question. The fact that no one knows my true name is Michael Blaine, despite the fact you said that at the beginning of the show.
But what's your middle name? I want to know your initials.
Fine, Joseph.
MJB.
Yes.
Okay, Mujb. I shall refer to you as Mujb for the rest of this interview. Mujb,
How
when
how
were you
about
born?
it's literally like me like that through the rest of the interview. I just won't answer the questions, okay?
All right, that sounds good. But when were you born? This is only a question because the age is going to vary of people on this show because we're a younger network. So a lot of us are younger on the channel. But for those who will interview, that are prominent within the fandom but outside of our network, are probably going to be mostly older. So
Yeah.
that's the only reason I ask is
Okay.
when were you born?
So unlike what I said when I first came on this show, um, I was born April 2nd in 1995.
Yes. Michael played the long game and pranked the crew of Steel City bots for 6 months, Wait,
No, four.
4 months. Okay, I was like,
Four because you brought me on late December, early January.
hmm
And I think it was still a little bit before I had the notion because I remember it specifically. Chris was like, "Hey, we should do a funny thing for April Fool's Day," and I was like, "Oh, that because if it was April Fool's Day fell on a Sunday, and I was like, oh, it'd be nice to have my birthday off."
yes. So, for
And
those,
then
yeah, I was gonna say, for
I
those who don't know,
continued.
you pranked us. Yeah,
Yes,
told us that for months, and then we didn't find out till the actual day. Wait,
because
did we find out
we
April
were
1st or April
Monday.
2nd?
Because yeah, we recorded April 2nd, and at the end of it, you guys said, "Oh, happy birthday." Well, no, I do the history lesson, so I was just like, history lesson. Today's my actual birthday, April Fool's.
And all of us were flabbergasted, to say the
Yeah, you
least.
should
But
go back and
yes,
watch the episode. That was probably a very good reaction.
uh, I've never had someone wait that long for an April Fool's prank, so definitely that definitely
I'm
was
surprised I never
something to
tried it
behold.
earlier, to be honest.
I would never even think of that to be real. Like I've thought of other April Fool's pranks, but nothing like that. So
But like my birthday's so close that like I could have.
yeah, that is true. But last regular question is, what do you do in life?
In life, well, in life, I have graduated from college with a degree in theater performance and do want to pursue acting or voice acting. But at the moment in time, I am a cashier at Target.
The
Uh,
the life of an actor before they're an actor.
yes, yes, retail work. It's
Hey,
great.
retail work is something that everyone should do at some point in their life.
I do agree. I do agree. Everyone should at least do retail work for 6 months, at least.
Should be a law.
Yeah, but I have they're well over a year, so I've served my time. I want to move on.
That's fair. That's fair. But
uh,
yeah. So now that people know the glorious life of Soundjack. Anyways, rapid fire. Uh, okay. I'm just gonna. It's kind of favorite Transformer.
Soundjack or Soundwave? Soundjack.
Nope.
A
You gotta pick one.
Soundwave or Wheeljack?
Favorite Transformer. What's one?
Soundwave.
Okay. Favorite Autobot.
Wheeljack.
Favorite Decepticon that isn't Soundwave.
Shockwave.
Okay. That's how I was like trying to think. I was like, how do I explain it? But I was like, if I explain to pick your second favorite Decepticon, you'll know what the first question is. Like your second favorite
Yeah,
Transformer for the
yeah,
other one. So,
yeah.
anyways, next question: how did you get involved with Nerdy Geek Talk?
I got involved because y'all were having like an open request for people to submit applications to for our new host, and you were only going for one, and that one was Miguel. But you also agreed to bring me on with the condition that I also do reviews for Nerdy Geek Talk.
Which you
Um,
do in a format that I don't think anyone else does in reviews. So,
yeah, I it was because when you said that, the thing that was tr- um, not troublesome, but I was trying to work out was like, okay, how do I still do reviews on my channel, but make them different enough on this channel and be able to put both out in a reasonable manner? And then the best solution I came up with was the podcast reviews,
mm-hmm.
but that also gets the full scope of the Transformers people on Nerdy Geek Talk.
Yep.
Is nice.
Yeah, so yeah, I was gonna say, so fun fact, you were not actually the person that was selected as the host when we selected hosts whenever you joined, but you were still made a host anyways.
Yeah.
Because that's not how people would expect that to go whenever it's like, how did you get on the channel as a host? And you're like, well, you were taking applications for hosts and I was not I was not the one that you chose. But
Yeah.
it's just kind of funny. But as I say, you were chosen even though you weren't chosen, technically.
Yes. Yes.
What would you say your primary role in the fandom is?
Oh, primary role. Uh, Probably be my YouTube channel, Soundjack 426, where I do toy reviews and some other videos of figures. Though maybe now I can say my toy photos are a bit more popular. Um,
On Twitter or Instagram?
Instagram. Well, but
Oh, I know why. Yeah,
yeah.
makes sense.
Well, I do have more subscribers on YouTube, but I do get quite a lot of likes on my photos, especially some of my really good ones. And I did get one of my photos very recently asked by Transformers Official to be used as for their marketing material, to which I agreed. So, like, I apparently do good work with my toy photos.
Did they
so,
comment or message you?
Comment. It was a
Oh,
comment. It
that's what I
wasn't.
figured. I wasn't sure. I remember you sent the screenshot.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like they do have a system for that, because like the link on their site is literally, oh, here's our agreement for us using your photography. The link in their profile is literally linked to like, here's what you do if you send okay Hasbro to as a response. So here's all the legalese agreement stuff. It's literally a contract basically. But it's cool. It's still cool. Um, but yeah, that's the main thing I do. Though I also do help out on Nerdy Geek Talk a bunch. Being what you have said second, you have called me the second in command pretty much.
Yes, you run
Of
things when I'm not there.
Yeah, I run Steel City Bots when you're not there. I am in charge of the NGT reviews, and there was, well, okay. This line is a weird one because I remember when we started it, you had Jared in charge of that, but then Jared just like never showed up.
Yep.
Just because of conflicts always arose, and I was also the one just doing the research.
Yep.
So I'm like, I feel like I'm yeah.
Yeah, you get credit for that show.
Yeah.
Reverse credit, but you get credit.
Yeah. And we do want to bring that back, but like it's just not
It'll
happening.
happen.
It will happen.
Yeah.
It will be continued
We're not
because
saying when, but it'll happen.
the Align continuity is still ongoing.
Yeah, and in all fairness, like no one covers that. You
Yeah.
know, like the lore. Like shout out to tfu.info. Go listen to TF University. One
Yes.
of, if not the best, I would probably say it is my favorite Transformers podcast ever. You learn so much from it. It's just super well done. Ant, the guy who runs it all, it's one person if you aren't aware. Because I didn't know that till I met Ant in person. And he's now a father as well, and he still does it. So, totally incredible show. And I totally forgot what I was spinning off of. But Ant's awesome. What was I spinning off of?
Lore.
Oh yeah. He does the G1. He's going year by year, so he will get to it eventually. But
it's going to be like
a long time. Yeah.
But yeah.
We just deep dive, and I think he's in 1986 right now. He is, because our crew needs to record something for the episode for the movie, actually.
Thank you for me.
What?
He asked me to do that too.
Yeah, he wants all of us to. Like, I think I might just do one with all of us in it. So.
Okay.
But anyways, there's that for your G1 needs and everything, and he'll get to other stuff eventually. But yeah, no one else does Align continuity lore really. So.
Yeah.
We'll do it eventually.
Yes.
And then the next question is, what would you like to be known by in the fandom? I'm thinking long term, not just not right now. Just like in general, what would you like to be known by within the fandom?
Known by, like, is my name, or is known for is what you're asking?
Well, known for, yeah, that's what I mean. Known for.
Ideally, I would like to be known for as a voice actor on Transformers.
That's an awesome goal, and we're gonna come back to that later.
Honestly, like, bucket list. That's a bucket list goal right there. Become a voice actor, and after becoming a voice actor, get on a Transformers show.
That would be fantastic. Okay, some more rapid fire. Bots or Generations?
Bots.
Bisque or Thermidor?
Bisque.
Favorite food?
Pizza.
Thank God you didn't say lobster. Okay, that was a test. That's precisely why I had that afterwards. It was a test. What is your favorite performance you've ever given? Because for those who don't know, as you mentioned that you're acting and stuff, but like you saying you act in plays and stuff, like you have done stuff. So
I have done the theater.
I was gonna say, what is your favorite performance you've ever given? I'm assuming you've been in choirs as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been in choirs.
That's what I thought.
Though I do disclude that just because it is more straightforward singing as an ensemble, and
It
Yeah.
still counts as a performance if it was your
Well,
favorite.
it counts as a
Yeah.
performance, but like as an actor, it's
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about acting.
no, yeah.
And like, I'm not talking about just acting. I'm just talking about any performance you've ever given. Though I
Yeah.
would probably assume you're going to say something that you acted in.
Yes.
Figured.
Who? I mean, there's ones I love the work I've done, but the one I think I've most enjoyed was when I was Lurch in the Addams Family musical.
Interesting. Why?
Uh, that is one of the few Broadway musical roles that I was like, I can be. I am a bass. Basses don't exist on Broadway, pretty much.
Yep.
Also, Lurch is a tall drink of water. I'm like, I'm a tall drink of water. And they were like, oh, we're going to do this show. I'm like, if I can be Lurch, that'd be amazing. And then yes, I was. I mean, it was a simple part because like most of the show, I was just
Very
yeah,
complicated.
it sounds like this in the entirety of the show.
Nice. I'm sure that
Did you?
was such a thrill.
Oh yeah, I mean, but it was fun. It was a fun time. Move Toward the Darkness is a great song for me. It was just a good time. Yeah, I mean, there's other roles that have definitely stretched my acting ability, but this was just a good old fun time.
Including when you played a woman.
Yes, including when I played a woman. I did consider putting that up. I'll just explain that one briefly. That was part of an original play called Just a Penny, original musical, and I played two characters. In flashbacks, I played the teacher, Mrs. Creature. Haha. So I cross-dressed for that, and that was a fun time, especially trying to sing with her very nasally voice. And then I also played Trent, who was the father of the director, because the plot of the play was there was a director that was opening an original production play for the first time, and I play her father, who I won't go into details. I just played the father. But yeah, theater's a good time.
Nice. My next question is, who is your favorite artist / entertainer of all time? If you can only pick one.
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm gonna go with Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Wait, who?
Lin-Manuel Miranda. He wrote Hamilton.
Okay.
He also wrote a piece of music for Star Wars.
Do you know what it is?
It's I can't remember, The Force Awakens. It's the new Cantina music.
Wait, he wrote that?
Yeah. Yeah, he wrote.
I was like, no, I know someone else was involved with that. J.J. Abrams did the vocals for it. That's why.
Yes. Yeah, he was not the sole. I don't. Yeah. He wrote, and I think he might have assisted on another piece, but anyway, he did that. He worked on Moana. He's in Mary Poppins Returns. But he's a very he's not just a very good writer and composer and performer, because Hamilton is only his second musical, and look at all the accolades it's getting. And his first musical still won the Tony Award when it came out. So he's got the cred. But he's also just a very good person. He cares so much for people and wants to do so much to help with his music and his words, and with the praise he's been getting, he's able to do that.
Mm-hmm. I just want to say that my favorite entertainer and artist is and always will be Bo Burnham, and I will never ever stop talking about it.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's it. That's a good choice for sure.
Yeah.
What would you say is your greatest weakness and strength?
Great. Okay. God, this feels like, I was going to say this feels like an interview, but it is.
This interview really feels like an interview.
I was like, this feels like a job interview.
I knew what you meant, but still.
Yeah. Yeah. So I should get used to this if I'm going to be really serious on trying to find a new job. Greatest weakness? I doubt myself the whole heck of a lot. Very much so. I have an idea for a job I really want to apply to, but I am doubting if it's the right thing to do right now so much, even though with what I want to be doing, it makes the most sense. I'm not going to go into details because some of it's a bit personal, but like, yeah, and it's really frustrating me.
You need some Sam Witwicky in your life. Just do it.
That's Shia LaBeouf.
They are one and the same, sir.
Is he one and the same person as Even Steven from the old Disney Channel show?
Sure, why not?
I disagree with that, but okay. Anywho, strength.
I thought you were saying strength was your biggest strength, like physical strength, and I was like, "You're large," but I didn't think you were that like super.
Oh
strong.
no, I am a I am I would not win a fight. I would not win a fight. Unless it was against a sack of flour, and even then I might still lose. Compassion. I think I just care a lot for people. I just want everyone to feel good, as best as I am capable of.
Empathy. That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right. Some more rapid fire. Is Cyclone a Skywarp or Bombshell?
Skywarp.
What's your favorite Transformers continuity?
Cyberverse.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
I don't know. Put me on the spot. I didn't have time to think.
What is your favorite way of enjoying Transformers?
Actually, animated. Let's go animated.
No, you can't change. It was off the top of your head. There are no takebacks. So, favorite way of enjoying Transformers: toys, shows, comics, movies, etc. What is your favorite way to enjoy Transformers?
Oh, media.
What did you say?
Media. I don't know.
What form of media? Got to pick one.
Television.
Okay, so shows.
I don't know.
Interesting. I think that's like the primary place of Transformers. That's a very safe thing to say as well because, well, no, I mean, toys is the primary, but in terms of Transformers media, the TV is where, Transformers resides.
I mean, I wouldn't care as much about these guys if there wasn't stories to back them up.
Mm-hmm.
Though I managed to do that for the mini cons, and I've just made the stories all up in my head. So
this is true. I was going. So my next question was, "What is your dream job?" But you kind of answered that.
Yeah.
How many mini cons do you have?
Oh, hold on. I've got the chart. Oh wait, I haven't updated the chart fully. I don't think. Let me check the one thing. Did I? Okay, so I didn't add that one, so I must not add it. Okay, so 146.
Okay,
that is the exact number.
Then, who is your favorite minicon out of all of them?
You gotta make me choose out of all of my children?
Yep. One out
you
of your
monster!
46 children.
Can I make it 2?
Nope, you gotta pick one.
No!
You can mention your second choice, but you gotta pick one. I don't think anyone's gonna judge you. I'm just saying.
I know, but like, I don't know. I don't. How do you make me pick my favorite of all of them?
It's called
It's
making
like,
an interesting interview because I know that you're obsessed with them.
um, okay. So as I don't have to pick from the two, I'm going to go with Cybertron Jolt as a safe bet because I was introduced to Cybertron and he was the primary minicon amongst all of the minicons. The two I'm debating on are the green repaint of Armada Sawboss and the red and white repaint of Armada Downshift, who, in my headcanon, are respectively Ditch and Quickslinger, who are on teams that fight against each other, with Ditch being on the team of bots that call the Road Wrecker team. I borrowed the names directly from the teams. The Road Wrecker team, who just love tearing up the roads, and the Road Assault team, who are all outlier minicons with superpowers that try to fight them, but they function more like anti-heroes because they cause more problems than they solve. But then they end up but Ditch and Quickslinger end up pulling a Romeo and Juliet and end up falling in love, and they're both female. So
interesting. So Juliet and Juliet.
Yes.
And then I have a replacement question since the dream job you already answered. It is, if you could get one Transformers toy for free, anything that exists in the world. It can't be something that doesn't exist, but anything that exists, you get one. Then you would just get it now. What would it be?
Ooh.
Isn't there a minicon that there's only one of? Or is it like 4 of? Or is it like 6 of?
One, but I'm like those super duper rare ones I've just like excised out of my memory. They're still in my overall count, but I'm just like.
But I'm saying that that's on the table. You wouldn't take that?
I mean,
that's interesting.
We don't have any record. We don't know where it is. So in theory, it could have been destroyed and therefore no longer exists.
Well, but it did exist at some point, so it counts.
Okay, fair. I mean, you're not wrong. I could, but then the problem because the one that Eric's referring to is there was a lucky draw exclusive in Japan for a gold chromed Armada Jetfire with his minicon, but there was literally only one of those. And while that would be really awesome to have, then the problem would be I'd have to track down one of the 78 or 79 copies of the gold chromed Optimus Prime that they released.
I see. That's why whenever you didn't pick that, immediately that's what I thought you were, like, why you weren't picking it was because then, like, having one of the impossible ones, you would want the other impossible ones.
Yeah, I'd have to pick the other impossible ones. So that's just easier to not pick those. I would probably then say a fully mint, complete box G1 Wheeljack.
Huh.
Mostly because I've found versions of Wheeljack in various states of distress, and the ones I find are either very expensive, missing something, or are very yellowed or even mildly yellowed. So like to have a full
pristine one.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's probably never going to happen because as far as we know, they've lost the mold, though we've been shown that they can reverse engineer from KO models because of the Dino cassettes that came out with those Bumblebee.
Yeah, the SDCC exclusive and the Entertainment Earth exclusive.
Yes.
Awesome. Is it Awesome Mix?
Yeah, there's the Bumblebee Retro Pop Highway and the Retro Rock Garage.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, some more rapid fire.
Okay.
Favorite mammal?
Cat.
I'm done with
I
this
know.
interview. Okay. No, anyways, favorite reptile?
Iguana.
Favorite color?
Yellow.
Oh God. I forgot that
What?
yellow is your favorite color. Why don't you want a yellowed Wheeljack if yellow is your favorite color, huh?
Because it's not accurate. It's not accurate. Also, you know what? I've realized very recently.
What?
I think I fell in. I got into. I enjoyed Wheeljack a lot because he was the scientist of the group. But I also think subconsciously I really attracted to him because he's got the color. He's got the Hess colors.
The what colors?
The Hess trucks.
Oh, huh.
And my grandmother got me those since I was 3. So like the Hess trucks every Christmas have been a big part of my childhood.
Yeah.
And I still get them. So and I was like messing around with what I have, and like then I got the Masterpiece Wheeljack that is a KO. And I'm like, this is a Hess truck right here. In my hand, I am holding a unreleased Hess truck.
That's interesting.
So I'm wondering if that is subconsciously partly why I love Wheeljack so much. But
That could easily be why. Huh.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Next question I have is what Transformers show means the most to you? Doesn't have to be necessarily your. I mean, there's chances are it would be your favorite, but it doesn't have to be, and it definitely doesn't have to be what you think is the best. Just which one means the most to you.
Ooh, that's very good. I don't know. The 3 immediate ones that come to mind are Beast Wars Animated and Cybertron.
Okay, rank them. Just pick the bottom one first. That's the easier way to do it.
As much as Cybertron was my formative basis, I would probably have to say put that one at the bottom because...
So even though it's your formative basis, it does not mean the most to you? Because again, we're not talking about quality whatsoever.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure it out because
it's hard when you love a franchise to pick what you love most, but
yeah. I mean, Beast Wars has a small cast, but like a lot of really good characters, a lot of great story, and has very important details that introduce new aspects to the whole.
See,
of the
you're thinking about it from the aspect I told you not to, though. I'm talking about what means the most to you.
But that's why it
what
means so much to me, because I'm a lore nut. I love.
Okay, that is fair. That is fair. I know that you are a lore nut. Which
That's
is very interesting because I think that the question that I ask most people, because I am only going to keep probably like half the questions for most people. Half of them I'll change for depending
Yeah, I
on the
doubt
person.
you ask what was. I doubt you ask other people like what your favorite role is. The favorite role you've ever performed.
But the question I asked of like, what's your favorite way to like consume Transformers, basically, and you said media, and then you went to TV. I am certain that 90% of people will pick toys.
Yeah.
If not more.
That is fair. I mean, you also didn't give me a chance to think about it, so that's just where I went.
No, I know. I'm saying that I think most people's gut instinct, without even thinking about it, will be toys, just because I think that that's so integral to this franchise. But I do know that you, in particular, just as a person, knowing you, you're a lore nut, so that makes sense as to why you didn't pick that first.
Also, I don't have problems not getting toys for other things. But like I said, Beast Wars has a lot of good stuff. Animated also has substantially great lore building, and also again great stories and great characterizations that I just love to death. And again, Cybertron, I definitely don't rank up there as my favorite, as one of the best favorite shows. But as much for what it means to me, it definitely goes up with animated and Beast Wars, who often tend to contend for the top spot. You gave if I was able to change my answer for favorite show, I would go with animated, because the Cyberverse is still new. And while I am very much enjoying it, it's not complete, so I haven't been able to subsume to if the whole is good. Because like, it's a quick example. I love Voltron. Voltron's been a great show, but then like the last two seasons do things that are very bothersome, and I'm like, oh no, oh no.
But animated Beast Wars, which is the top? I have a feeling I know what you'll pick.
Okay, that's funny because I don't.
I know you're struggling, but I have a feeling as to which one you'll pick. But I'm not going to say it till afterwards.
I I would have to pick. This is also problematic because it's a weird time for me because I was still into Transformers during animated, but I don't know why I dropped off getting the toys during that period. And if I was picking up the toys, I would probably go with animated. But I think it might be Beast Wars.
Interesting. Okay, I was going to say animated, so that's actually I was wrong.
Yeah. Like, it's so darn close. Like, the next, okay, so I do love the lore in both of them. And yes, animated does have a lot more lore because, like, Allspark Almanac and stuff, but that is also technically it's still in the main canon, but it's technically secondary since it wasn't the main creators working on that. And both have been very important to mythos overall and characterizations and stories, because the anime introduced so many new characters. But Beast Wars also has a lot of good characters, but most of them exist purely within the Beast Wars. And it's more special because of it. I think. Like, I would love to see so many Beast Wars characters get out more. Like, the best is we've had a few of them hop into IDW.
Barely.
Like Tarantulas had a
Tarantulas
starring roles. Rat Trap's been important, and like others
and the others basically get cameos.
Yeah. So it ends up being more special, and then going to the level of toys. Beast Wars, once they got to Transmetals, Beast Wars ended up being more toy accurate, which is a thing I personally appreciate probably a bit more because Cybertron's animation models were very accurate to the toys. And I do happen to like a lot of Beast Formers because they have more interesting transformations than car formers. Like, you can definitely get cool, interesting transformations. Like, look at Siege Optimus Prime. You think you know how that works? Nope. And it's a very fun, satisfying transformation. But there are definitely patterns that you run into more often with cars and trucks as opposed to various types of animals. And I find...
It depends on the type of animal. Because I would argue that dragons transform the same way usually. Because it's like, it stands up.
Fair, but like there are more varieties of animals to choose from.
No, definitely.
Interesting things. Like, yeah, the dragons all kind of do a similar thing, but like you also have owls and fish and
it's
bats.
when you really change the shape of the animal. If you do just a four-legged animal, you still can get some very varied transformations, but a lot of the times they will take the standing up method. But but anyways, I have a question that is just as hard for the next one.
Oh dear.
It is, What was the creative process behind creating the name and character of Soundjack?
Okay, that's you. Ha 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 ha. Okay. So I think I first used the name Soundjack for my Tumblr.
You have a Tumblr?
I do have a Tumblr. I don't use it anymore, but for some reason there's been a spike of people following me, and I'm like, why?
I've never ever used Tumblr in my life.
I did end up using Tumblr. I forget why, but I just got into Tumblr. Just I didn't really post. I just like followed and liked things. I was like, oh, this is a cool place, and I kind of got into some aspects of the Transformers fandom through that because I've not been an active online member for a long time in the fandom, despite being around into Transformers since Cybertron. Never really been on boards until I've never been involved with the Transformers Twitter until I started my YouTube channel. But I created it because Soundwave and Wheeljack are my favorite Autobot and favorite Decepticon.
Why didn't you do Wheel Wave?
Because that sounds dumb. And a sound jack is like an audio jack, so it's a thing. So it could be a reasonable name. And then overall, the design was based on the
Robots in Disguise Jazz. His face.
What?
It was Robots in Disguise Jazz's face.
I based the design. I never, until very, very recently, and thanks to @the_Derriere_Fair on Twitter, I never actually had seen a full or mostly full design of my ideal sound jack. But in my head, it was always based on the Cybertron toy, because even though I never had the toy, of Soundwave, yeah. Because even though I never had that toy, Cybertron was so important to me that I felt that was relevant and good. And then it's admittedly just putting Wheeljack's colors on top of that and making him an Autobot. But if you also also tap in the 426 part of the name, since that is a thing, I picked that because I'm also really into Pokemon, and my favorite Pokemon is Drifblim, and his national dex number is 426.
I forgot that was why that was there. You had already told me that, and I remembered as soon as you said it. I just totally forgot about that for a second. Yep. So on April 26th, you can all celebrate Soundjack Day.
Yay!
And then wait, what were you going to say?
And quickly, Drifblim's my favorite Pokemon because A, when I was younger and about the time I got Diamond and Pearl, I wanted to be a meteorologist, and B, that was the first Pokemon I really had to work towards to get because you could only get it on a certain day.
Which made you appreciate it more.
Yes. Yes.
So my next question is, if you could have one power, what would it be?
Ooh.
You can pick basically anything, except for more wishes.
Well, you're not asking me about... I wish to have the power to imbue with anyone else's superpower, and I mind control them. So I basically have all the superpowers. I don't know.
No one else has superpowers, so that wouldn't be very useful.
Well, I have the superpower to give someone else a superpower, but at the same time mind control them. So I use them.
Is that actually what you're going with?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm basing that off of Miraculous Ladybug. If you don't get
yeah.
Well, he doesn't directly mind control them. They still kind of have free will. But anyway, I've always fluctuated between having super stretch powers or weather controlling powers.
That is very interesting. Those are never what I would pick. I don't think they're bad at all. They're very cool, especially the whatchamacallit, the weather controlling. I think that's super cool, but very interesting. If you had to pick between those two, what do you think is the better one?
Weather control, because it's practical.
Yeah, that is very practical. That is true.
And I maybe can help reverse some effects of climate change, maybe.
All right, rapid fire. Rich or famous?
You can
Famous.
only be one. So if you're famous, you are specifically not rich. Okay.
Okay.
Soundwave or Wheeljack?
Soundwave.
Windblade or RC?
Windblade.
I knew you were going to pick that.
Yeah.
If you could change anything about the Transformers franchise, what would it be? This is the last round of regular questions, and then we'll have one last round of rapid fire.
Okay, cool, because I have to get going soon.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know that our interview time is almost up, but yeah, so if you could change anything about the Transformers franchise, what would it be?
Animated didn't get canceled.
Huh. What is your ranking of all the Transformers movies? You have to include Predacons Rising and the 86 movie.
I do have to include those.
Yes.
Okay. So Bumblebee, 86, Predacons Rising, Transformers, the first one, Dark of the Moon, The Last Night, The Age of Extinction, and then Revenge of the Fallen.
Oh, that hurt me.
I figured it would.
Next question. Would you rather have a live action role in a Transformers movie as yourself? Like you're the human, Michael Blaine, played by Michael Blaine, is the human character in the next Transformers movie. That's like, the Sam or the Charlie, as in you are the main human that befriends a Transformer. Or would you rather voice any Transformer that you like in a show?
I think I'd go with voice.
Oh my god.
What?
I understand why, but I can't believe you would pick that. Being a movie star, it's a Transformers movie. You would be on the spotlight of everyone as an actor.
Well, okay. I mean, the movies do have a little bit of a rough reputation.
Well, not Bumblebee.
Not Bumblebee, no.
But still, like, everyone knows you. And I wouldn't say they have a rough reputation among the public. The public generally likes them. Among Transformers fans, maybe.
Fair.
There's a reason they made tons of money.
Well, I mean, I talked to friends who aren't Transformers fans that are like, oh, these are bad films. But, like, I only talk to a small selection amount of people, so who knows? So what do I know?
Wow. Anyways.
I mean, I did pick Famous, so, I mean, you're right with that. But, like, that's because...
You picked Famous instead of Rich. Man, I think I might go with Rich because, like, just no money problems or anything.
Well, that's fair. I mean, that is fair. Like,
I do understand well, actually, I would never want to be famous, in all fairness. Yeah. But
I mean,
understand why it's appealing.
That was a rapid fire, so I didn't have time to think either.
Yep,
so
exactly, that's the point. Okay, final rapid fire. Favorite Steel City Bots host?
You.
I was almost gonna explicitly say you don't have to say me. You won't hurt my feelings. Favorite Transformers YouTuber?
MGO. No, it actually. Oh no, wait, Chris McFeely.
Okay. Revenge of the Fallen or Machinima's Combiner Wars?
Ow.
Exactly. Save the best for last.
Combiner Wars because it's shorter.
Oh God, I think it's so much worse.
It's shorter.
I don't know. There's like, I can't think of a single moment in Combiner Wars. The other two series, Titans Return and Power of the Primes, there's like a few moments where I'm like, I like that moment. But like just Combiner Wars, I don't think there's a single moment that I'm like, yes. Revenge of the Fallen, there are several moments where I'm like, yes. Just, the large majority of the movie is, what it is. But anyways.
But there are also a number of moments in that I'm like, oh, why? And the other one, and Combiner Wars is just meh. I'm not to the same.
Not the same level yet, but yeah.
Why wheelie humping Michaela's leg? It's just like, why is Starscream?
Don't question it. Just look away.
Head? Why is Starscream a giant floating head when he combined with the Enigma? There's a different level of why, and I can stomach the whys I have to ask for Combiner Wars better.
That's fair. So you did it. You made it through the interview.
Yeah.
So, what do you have going on, and where can people find you? You're an easier to one for people who listen to Nerdy Geek Talk, but still,
Oh
let us
yeah.
know.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Soundjack426. My YouTube channel features Transformers toy reviews as well as my own podcast, Soundjack's Rambles. Instagram is where I post photos of my toys, and Twitter is where I hang out. So come on by and say hi.
And definitely stay tuned for the next episode of this. I have a feeling I know who I want to get for the next episode. I'm guessing. I'm not going to confirm like who it is, but I'm thinking it may be someone that isn't in the Nerdy Geek Talk. I think I may alternate, do one Nerdy Geek Talk, one non-Nerdy Geek Talk member, one Nerdy Geek Talk,
That would
etc.
make sense.
So I think, and uh, I mentioned them several times throughout this. So if you're
I,
listening, you probably know
I,
who you
I,
are.
I think I know who you're talking about. I
Yeah.
figured. I
If
figured.
you if you're listening, and I know you probably are at some point. Maybe I've already asked you at this point though. Yeah. So we'll have to get that squared away for the next episode of NGT Interviews. But that's about it. If you want to listen to Steel City Bots, more NGT interviews, any other shows, all that good stuff, and NGT reviews, as we mentioned, that's Michael's show, and possibly a return of Misaligned eventually.
Eventually.
Subscribe to Nerdy Geek Talk anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can on YouTube, but I have been having big troubles with YouTube, so I prefer to just go to podcast places because that's where we get all of our downloads. So that it's up to date there. And you can also follow us at Nerdy Geek Talk on Twitter. You'll be notified the second the podcast go up. Tweets it out automatically. It usually surprises me because I'll be hitting upload and it'll tweet before I even realize that I had finished uploading it. So, yeah, because I have notifications set. So yeah, that's about it. You can find me at Eric Crowbar on Twitter, all that good stuff. And that's about it. So thanks for listening, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.